Do you remember the 1970s Speedway in the glory days? It was fabulous. And if you didn't see it, you missed it. You really missed the boat. You know, Speedway was really cool because it was new in the infancy. It began in '68 at the Whiteman Stadium. And in 1969, they had the inaugural season at the Costa Mesa Speedway. And they brought all those Speedway stars, those flat track stars, over to the bull ring at Costa Mesa. You know, Harry Oxley and the 37 world champion Jack Milne, they went ahead and they petitioned the Fair Board to run these motorcycle races at the bull ring, this little track at Costa Mesa. You know, Oxley and Milne, they realized that Speedway needed to be up and close and personal. You know, at the Whiteman Stadium, the fans sat very far back from the Speedway track. And they realized that if they got the fans close up, because Speedway is exciting when it's close and you can see the races up close and personal. And that's exactly what they did. They began the Costa Mesa Speedway. They brought over stars like Slidin' Sonny Nutter, the Rocket, Rick Woods. He was the first United States Speedway champion over at the Whiteman Stadium, and he was a marquee Speedway star. They brought the young Bass brothers, Mike and Steve Bass. They were stars, and Steve went ahead and won that 1969 United States Speedway Championship. And they brought over all these great riders, Sammy Tanner, and all these different stars. Les Chankey came over. Lots of these guys came over. And it was a star-studded field. They had Lightning Larry Shaw. And these guys became stars. Wild Bill Cody. They all just became, it was like a magical time in history where you had all these different kind of talented riders coming together and making like the stars of Speedway. And it became a glorious time in the sport. And people start flocking to the Speedway races. You know, the movie On Any Sunday helped regenerate the interest in Speedway. You had the surfer crowd from Newport Beach and Costa Mesa coming out, the beautiful women, and the guys were always chasing the women. And they had lots of like beer sales and alcohol, and you know, it just became a fun time. This was before the internet, so people weren't exactly engaged, chatting and stuff like that. In order to chat with somebody, you had to meet them in personal, or you had to write them a letter and send it in the mailbox. So these times were different than the times today for these kind of reasons. And people were looking for entertainment. They were looking for something to do. And the Speedway at Costa Mesa, and then they became Irwindale, and became Ventura, and Bakersfield, and San Bernardino. All these tracks just popped up because Speedway began to take off, and promoters got to see that there was a chance to make money. The racers made money, and then the SRA came in existence and guaranteed the riders like 35% of the purse. So Speedway really became big, and the riders got a lot of money. Why? Because the fans came out and they watched the races, and it was exciting. You know, Speedway was really exciting. And I think it was the colorful riders that made Speedway so exciting. You know, he had all these characters. You had all these really great motorcycle riders. These guys were talented. And at any given night, you could find some of these guys winning. And you had a lot of younger riders coming up, Troy McKee and Ruben Benitez, and all these dark horses, the Moons, Phil, Larry Moon, and Irwin Moon even raced. You had Harlan Bast, and you had all these guys coming out that, you know, that were just kind of getting involved in Speedway. And then you had superstars emerging, like the Fox, Bruce Penhall. He came around close to the mid-'70s. and he started tearing it up. He was, as a 16-year-old, and he became a future star. And then you had Danny Berserko Becker. Danny Berserko Becker, he was riding those crash walls, razzle-dazzling the crowd. You had all these different kinds of elements. You had the good guys, you had the bad guys. You had, it was like WWF, you know, you had all these different exciting people. And that's what made Speedway so exciting back in the 70s. And also, because there was no internet and stuff like that, people, they had to go to live entertainment. They couldn't just watch it on the internet. So you had all these people paying, coming to the races and enjoying the Speedway. It was the glory days of Speedway. And it was the days that we thought would never end. But it was good times, and it was happy times. And the Speedway became popular, and it attracted just so many people. And the younger generation came out, and they enjoyed the Speedway. There's always fights in the stands. They sold lots of beer, so they went ahead and they had lots of partying going on. You had Gene, the dancing machine.
I love you.
Gene was fabulous, and he was really exciting, got the crowd going, and he would yell, "More beer!" Yeah, more beer. And Gene, the dancing machine, he would dance on that crash wall. He would walk, and he would have a drink of beer as he was walking on that crash wall. It was great times, and it was good times at the Speedway. And they had beautiful women. You know, they had the surfer chicks. They would come out, and they're so beautiful, they're so gorgeous. And they had the Fox Night. All women were free, and the guys had to pay. They followed the girls, and the stands were packed. They had the fair derbies. They had Harley nights. They had all these exciting events that drew the people. And the Costa Mesa Speedway was a very famous track, and the IMS became another very big track that attracted people. Irwindale became a big successful track, you know, and all these riders, they just rode the circuit every night of the week. And these guys, they made some money. Let me tell you, the top dogs, they definitely made a killing for that time. It was big money, and it was good because the fans, they came out and supported the sport. But that was the life of the 70s, and it was exciting, and it was the heyday of the sport. It was a glory days of Speedway, and it was wonderful times. But thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please subscribe if you got some value out of this show. It was a good time in life. And you know, a lot of people wish they could relive those days because they were so glorious and they were so great. And many of you had so many great memories of that time. So that was just a very special time that will never come back. But if you experienced that, you should be grateful that you had that experience. But thank you so much for hanging out with us today, talking about the glory days of Speedway, and they were glorious. Thank you once again, and we're going to see you, of course. We're going to see you next time. Hey, thank you so much.